In 1934, at the British government's request, the White Star Line merged with Cunard Line to form Cunard White Star. This merger secured funding for the completion of the RMS Queen Mary and RMS Queen Elizabeth. Once finished, these two ships would take over Cunard White Star's transatlantic routes, making the older liners in the fleet, like the Olympic, redundant. As a result, they were gradually retired. The Olympic was withdrawn from transatlantic service and made her final departure from New York on April 5, 1935, returning to Britain to be laid up while a decision was made about her future. Her new owners briefly considered using her for summer cruises, but the plan was soon abandoned and she was put up for sale. One potential buyer, a syndicate, proposed converting her into a floating hotel off the south coast of France, but this plan came to nothing. There was also speculation that the Olympic might be retained for use as a troopship, as reported by the New York Times, but this idea ultimately never materialized. After being laid up for 5 months alongside her former rival, the Mauretania, she was sold to Sir John Jervis, a Member of Parliament, for £97,500, with the intention of partially demolishing her at Jarrow to provide work for the depressed region. The dismantling of the ship provided employment for several hundred men in Jarrow for the next 18 months, generating £100,000 in wages. Her superstructure was dismantled in 1936, and by 1937 the Olympic's hull was towed to Inverkeithing to T.W. Ward's yard for final scrapping. At that time, the ship's chief engineer commented, "I could understand the necessity if the old lady had lost her efficiency, but the engines are as sound as they ever were." By the time of her retirement, the Olympic had completed 257 round trips across the Atlantic, carrying 430,000 passengers on her commercial voyages and travelling a total of 1.8 million miles. Before the Olympic was scrapped, her fittings were auctioned off. Perhaps the largest collection of interior fittings from the Olympic can be found in the White Swan Hotel, located in Alnwick, England. The panelling from the liner's first-class lounge was installed in the dining room of the hotel, giving a glimpse of the great beauty of the Olympic and her sisters, and of the hard work and craftsmanship that went into their fitting out. In addition to the panelling from the lounge, the White Swan also boasts the revolving door that led from the first-class smoking room aft to the port veranda cafe. There are also oak balustrades from the first-class grand staircase lining the various staircases within the hotel, while lead and stained glass windows, as well as wall sconces from the liner light in the dining room. Some of the overhead light fixtures from the Olympic's grand staircase and the first-class smoking room have also found their way there. One suite at Spath House Hotel, Clayton Le Moors, Lancashire, has the furniture from one of the staterooms, including light fitting, sink, wardrobes and fireplace. The crystal and ormolu electrolier from the lounge is installed in the Cutler's Hall in Sheffield. Some of the timber panelling was used in the extension, completed in 1937, of St John the Baptist's Catholic Church in Padiham, Lancashire. In 2000, Celebrity Cruises purchased some of Olympic's original wooden panels to create the RMS Olympic restaurant on board their new cruise ship, the Millennium. According to the cruise line, this panelling had lined Olympic's a la carte restaurant. Olympic's bridge bell is on display at the Titanic Historical Society in Indian Orchard, Springfield, Massachusetts. More recently, the Nomadic Preservation Society acquired 5 windows from the Olympic's first-class lounge and brought them to Belfast, where they are now displayed on one of the last surviving White Star Line ships, the Nomadic.